Thank you. Today we have selected some questions from our listeners that we feel will be of interest to all of you. Ruth, what's the first question?
Norman, a listener in Grand Rapids writes, I have a 14-year-old son who has suddenly taken to burning incense in his bedroom. I understand from reading in national magazines that this may be a cover-up for a boy using marijuana. I don't know for sure whether my son is using this drug, but how do I talk to him about it?
Well, you know, there are all sorts of fads today, and it seems incense is one of them. This may be perfectly innocent, but since you feel that your son may be using this as a cover-up for drugs, I think you ought to have an honest, plain talk with him about it. Too much, you know, has been made of this so-called generation gap. And I think too many parents are afraid to talk honestly and openly with their children about these new problems in our society. They're afraid of their children, believe it or not. A family relationship, if it is complete, should allow the discussion of any problem, whether it be as serious as drugs or as simple as how late a boy can stay out at night. Remember this, your son is probably as worried about coming to you with his problems as you are about finding out about them. A family can be a mutual protection society, really should be. You can help your son by demonstrating to him that you are willing and anxious to help him in any difficulty he may be in. Let him know that your purpose of inquiring is not made out of anger or threat or punishment, but genuinely to help him.
I'll have another question right after this message. Norman, here's a letter from a widow in St. Petersburg, Florida. She writes, My husband has been dead for 10 years. I am 65 years old, and my children are all married, and I am alone. For the last 6 months, I have been seeing a man who is also 65, and now he has asked me to marry him. I loved my husband very much, and I also have a great feeling of responsibility for what my children remember about him. Do you think that a marriage at our age would have a bad effect on my children's memory of their father?
Well, from your letter, I feel that you've been a dedicated wife and a good mother. Of course, companionship in the later years of your life is of tremendous importance. If you have found a man who shares your interests and you can establish a rewarding relationship with, I would give no further thought to the effect on your children or your memory of your husband. I'm sure your children will understand, and in fact will be happy, that you have found someone to whom you can devote the rest of your life.
Norman, I see our time is up for today. I have some more questions, and will bring them with me next Friday. If you have a problem you'd like to have Dr. Peale discuss, please write us in care of this station.